Cedar Point is widely considered as one of the best amusement parks out there. Owned and operated by Cedar Fair, ever since this park made its debut back in 1870, it's been expanded dramatically with new rides, attractions and also shows. However, today I'm going to be reviewing Cedar Point. Located in Sandusky, Ohio, USA, this park is set on a 364-acre peninsula. However, what you might not know is that it's not only an amusement park. In fact, Cedar Point also offers Cedar Point Shores Water Park along with 5 different pieces of accommodation. However, as much as Cedar Point has tons to offer, it's definitely not the easiest place to get to. The reason why I'm mentioning this is due to the park's closest city being over 60 miles away. However, if you live further out than Cleveland, the chances are you're probably not going to be taking public transport. As much as it may be a trek to get to Cedar Point, I assure you that will be more than worth it. But in terms of the park's coasters, Cedar Point arguably has one of the best coaster collections out there, with in my opinion the best of which being Steel Vengeance. Making its debut back in 2018, this was the tallest, fastest and also longest hybrid coaster at the time. As much as it may have lost some of them records over time, it definitely doesn't take away from the coaster itself, as the airtime, inversions and also angles are literally insane. Also, not to mention that it's got an amazing first drop with some incredible views. And I have to say that the views don't stop there, as Maverick does just that, but instead of being tossed out of your seat like in Steel Vengeance, you'll instead be whipped through low to the ground turns. As much as it's the most common sensation on the coaster, it does also offer a great first drop, which I have to say gives some great airtime in the back row. Along with this, it's also got an intense second launch. Millennium Vaults is the park's intimate gear coaster, and offers one of the best views out there. Just climbing on that 310-foot lifter whilst being surrounded by nothing but water is just surreal. Also, not to mention that the coaster has some great turns and all these with strong airtime towards the back of the train. And even though the top 3 at the park is at the top of its game, Cedar Point does also offer a great supporting lineup, with Magnum XL200 arguably being the best. This is due to this being a classic coaster along with it also offering tons of airtime. Something to point out was that it's only one of 3 aerodynamic hypercoasters left in operation. Probably the most iconic coaster of the park is Gatekeeper, but back in 2013 it's the 5th B&M Wing coaster to have been constructed. However, with its height, speed and also inversions, it's quite hard to see why. Another B&M coaster of the park is Raptor, and this is definitely one of the more intense inverted coasters, but along with its intensity, Raptor offers some fun inversions along with a very smooth layout. Another fun coaster of the park is Rougarou, and despite its shaky nature, the coaster offers a strong layout with 4 inversions and even some low to the ground turns. Also, not to mention that the back row gives some nice airtime off the mid-course. Gemini is the park's 1978 dueling coaster, and I have to say that it was actually quite enjoyable. This is due to the back row giving some great airtime down the first drop along with its various different head choppers. Another classic aerodynamics roller coaster is Corkscrew, and despite it being the first 3 inversion roller coaster, I didn't actually find it to be too rough and made for at least a decent experience. A ride which was quite rough however is Blue Streak, and as much as I can appreciate its strong airtime, besides that the ride just didn't really do anything for me. Another basic attraction at the park is Iron Dragon, and I have to say that it was actually relatively smooth for its age, but besides this it was nothing special and it was just a weak coaster. The last of the thrill coaster at the park is Cedar Creek Mine Ride, and I have to say that due to its slow drops and with only a couple of turns, I would definitely call it more of a family coaster. However, it was still a decent attraction. Next up is Woodstock Express, and despite its occasional rattle, it was actually quite fun. This is due to having a decent first drop along with some nice turns. However, even though I only had the chance to experience 14 of the park's coasters, there were 3 more on my visit which I didn't actually get to experience, with of course the main one being Tothill Dragster. This is the park's intimate accelerator coaster which opened back in 2003, and despite it being SBNO for the whole of 2022, the park just recently put out an announcement mentioning that the coaster would be retired, and I have to say this was actually really sad to hear as it looked like one of the best roller coasters out there. However, another coaster which was closed on my visit was Valraven, and I have to say that I wasn't too disappointed about this, and as much as it looks to have a great first drop, the rest of the layout just didn't really bother me. However, a ride which was operational on my visit was Wilderness Run, and due to this coaster having a height restriction, there wasn't really any way I could experience it. But as much as the coaster is definitely the standout, I did also get to experience the Cedar Point and Lake Erie Railroad, and I thought that due to giving some nice scenic views over the park, it was definitely worth a mention. But if you're more into shows and entertainment, Cedar Point do also offer various different character interactions along with even some stage shows. As much as they look great, due to me only having 3 days at the park, I didn't actually get to see much of it. Something to point out is that if you visit Cedar Point throughout one of their events, they will occasionally offer some special themed shows. As much as Cedar Point is definitely an amusement park, they do also offer some nice theming. This was most notable over near Steel Vengeance and was great to see. And even though the theme doesn't show up near all of their coasters, there's no doubt that Cedar Fair definitely looks after this park. Something else which I really wanted to mention were the staff members. And as much as most amusement parks have great staff, I felt like the ones at Cedar Point were just amazing. However, as I briefly mentioned, I only actually spent 3 days at the park. As much as it was enough time to get done all the coasters and also explore the park, I did still miss out on some of the park's entertainment. So in my opinion, I'd personally recommend spending around 2 to 5 days. And as much as it's quite a difficult park to get to, I assure you that it would be more than worth it, as in my opinion, it's the best amusement park out there. However, what is your opinion on Cedar Point? Make sure to leave any thoughts down in the comments below. Thank you for watching, I'll see you in the next one.